I'm Morgan Nell from ACSI, and today I have the wonderful privilege of introducing you to Kirston Hoets, and she's a passionate entrepreneur who many years ago started Listeners Library. And as time evolved and as the technology around us evolved, she has now she's here now to introduce an app for schools. It's an online library, a library in your pocket. And she's going to be telling us all about SORA, which means the sky is the limit. So, Kirston, thank you so much for taking time. And we are looking forward to hearing about SORA. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for that introduction. Yes, I opened up Booktalk after the Listeners Library so that we could supply libraries, whether it's public libraries, schools, corporates, or universities, with the OverDrive digital e-lending library service. I say that carefully because if I say it too fast, people go, what? So for schools, we work with OverDrive, and they have come up with SORA, which is their digital reading platform and their app specifically for students. So they have an equal opportunity to succeed in literacy by offering age-appropriate ebooks and audiobooks for all reading levels, and accessible both for leisure and for curriculum work, and personalized learning features for every type of learner. So we really enjoy working with this service with schools, and the idea is to get children interested in reading. So, you know, some children are natural readers. They'll pick up a book and they'll start reading it, and others, on the other extreme, you've got, oh no, don't want, you know, they open it up, a slab of print, and it's just not exciting. So what OverDrive have done with SORA, it's designed to be appealing and enticing to students so that they can search for the types. It's a digital e-lending library, as I have said already. They can go on and search for the titles that they will want to read. And when they've found the title they want to read, they can adjust all sorts of things on the screen to make it more friendly to them. So it's not just a slab of print. So it's designed to be of appeal so that your students will want to start reading more and more. And because it's digital, it's available on smartphones, on tablets, on laptops, and it depends what, and of course on the school's bank of computers, and that's what is necessary to read. But what we find is that your students, your learners, they're so quick with digital material. They take to it like ducks to water, and some of their friends might be a bit slower, and you'll find they're showing each other how it works, what you can do, and they get really involved, and they almost take over from the teacher on learning and getting used to how the system works. And I think that's very helpful for the teacher, and it's useful for classroom work and for reading for pleasure. So if you're fortunate enough to have your device, you can access your school digital library, providing the school is signed up, from wherever you are and whenever you want, because the digital library never closes. It's open 24/7, 365 days of the year. And that's a big bonus. And believe you me, children know where the Wi-Fi hotspots are. I mean, I love it. You know, if adults look at each other and where the Wi-Fi are, children will tell you. They know where they are. They're very attuned. So I think that's what I want to say in a nutshell. The service is very easy for the school to run. There's a fabulous reporting facility, and there's a great support also for marketing and publicizing the service in the schools, because fundamentally it's invisible. So the school has to get it known to the students, to all the teachers, and indeed to the parents that the school likes an OverDrive like it, that the parents know what's going on, not because they will use it, because the material will be for the school, but if the parents know what children are reading on the phone, they'll feel a lot happier, because they need to know what they're doing, and that's important. So I can go on talking for a long time, so I've tried to keep it succinct.
So, Kirston, I wonder if you could share your screen and just give us a look at the website, the look and feel, and some of the features.
All right, with pleasure. I'm going to go on the screen. Right, so here I am on my SORA demo, and you can see it's already personalized. So here I am, my name. Now, if I was a student, I would open up, that's my name, and I would see immediately whether I've been given any titles, assigned titles or title. I'm probably a reluctant reader, which is why I would have an assigned title. A teacher would say, I've got the perfect book for Kirsty. I know she's going to enjoy this book, and I know she doesn't like reading very much. And we hope that the content of the book will overcome that resistance to reading. And we're going to give her extra time to read it, so that it's not due. It haven't got the normal 2 weeks. So that in itself is a great facility. Then I'm going down to see these 2 books out at the moment, Terrible 2 and El Defoe. Those are the books I've checked out. Sorry, 1 minute I'm talking about Kirsty in the third person, and the next minute it's me again. So please bear with me. Then we've got recent notes and highlights. So whenever I'm reading a book and I want to make some notes, I can do that. So notes are because I'm doing a demo to different schools. Just to give you an example of how the title of the book is there, cover is, the jacket's there, and then these are my notes that I will have made. And when I've finished with the notes, and it's been a class exercise that I've had to work on, I can export these notes out of my site here, and they can go on onto Excel and even go to the teacher. And recently defined words. So whilst I've been reading, I've come across words that I didn't know what they meant. Well, you know what I mean. I'm demonstrating. And not only does the definition of the word come through, but also context, which helps bring the word alive more. So whilst I'm reading and I'm intrigued by reading, I'm also expanding my knowledge of the English language at this stage. We're talking about dictionary being in English. So that's expanding my knowledge, which is marvelous, because then that leads to deeper and more meaningful self-expression in life. Now, I've got, because I've been certain books to demonstrate, the system has come up with books I might like, and these are in some of the different South African languages. And then I can, will be that is my home page. So here I am on my home page. Now I want to explore. So this is not difficult to pick up at all. I'm going to go to the top of the page, and because this is a demo site, this has been put forward for me. I've got I'm looking at all the ebooks. I can look at collections, but right now I'm just looking at the home page on the Explore, and I've got comics. Now, you know, comics used to be frowned upon, but they're marvelous for getting your reluctant readers to read. And there will be all sorts of different topics and stories that they can access. This is a part of the comic package for elementary school, and there are over 340 different titles there. In the intermediate school, there are 270 titles. You don't have to wait. There's no waiting period for these. You don't have to them, you can just access them. And similarly for secondary school, they've got over 1,000 there. And then we go down to popular titles. We're back onto your junior school titles. There are 50. Please remember, this is a demo. So this is what's been put on the demo. It's not it's not a school choice. This is what's on the demo to show you. And these titles are available now. So I might say, I don't want to go and look at books that might be not available because they're out to somebody else. I want to see what's available now because I want a book to read now. So these are available now, and then there are over 2,100 books available now. So I can go and have a really good editions. There are over 200 that have been added recently. And then most popular titles that I can read, and there are over 440 there. And then we'll come up with your next great read. So they've come up with other titles there. So that's it, and over 950 there to look at. Now I'm going on to my personal shelf. So I can just go up to the top here, and I've got the table 2, and I'm going to open the book. I can renew it if it's available, and I can return it early if I want to, but I will have the book. It says due on April the 17th, but in fact, with the demo, I have books for longer, but normally a school, you would have books for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, the book will go back into the library, whether you have finished it or not. So that's not a bad thing. It teaches you time management, which is quite a useful skill. And if you want to renew the title after the return date, you might have to go into it depends whether there's a waiting list or not. So it's a jolly good idea to actually read that book within the time frame. So I can open the book, and here it is. I've got the title here, and I'm in the middle of the book, as you can see, and I want to turn the page, and I want to turn the page some more, and then I want to have a look. I can just go onto the menu, and I can have just one page on my screen, or I can have 2 pages on my screen. And I can go on to I want to have a look at the appearance. So I might say, right, I want to increase the size of the text, which is nice if I need it, because then it's not quite such a frightening slab. I've gone back, and I can go down to lighting. So you've got sepia, you've got dark, it was almost a bit of a shock, and you've got high contrast. Some of these are really helpful for children who might have a little bit of a sight problem. So then and the other thing you have to remember, this is personal preference. Nobody else knows how you're adjusting the text. So nobody's going to bully you or tease you or anything about what's your personal preference. Nobody else knows. So you've got your different types of print, your scholar, there's a various ones here. There's also, which is hugely important, is you've got your dyslexic font. Now, I don't know when dyslexia is being picked up in schools, but this is a very useful font to know about. And I believe when you have the letters weighted at the bottom, it's difficult for the student to flip the letters over. So that's really important. So we're going to go back to Scholar, and then we're going to go down here to Custom. And then you've got all that. You can also change the fonts to which one you would like. And you just find out, you can see what you like. You don't have to stay with it. It's your choice. You can explore. The whole thing about this is exploring and finding out for yourself. And you can't actually, there used to be a time where if you hit the wrong button, you would freeze the face. It doesn't happen anymore. Then you might want to open up the line spacing. So you can now see, you can make the bigger, you can create increased line spacing, and suddenly you haven't got this slab of print. You've got it, it's much more friendly. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was you might want to make it heavy. That's again, children who perhaps have a slight problem. So that's the whole thing there. And then we go on to, you can make notes. I mean, for example, if I want to see Principal Barkin and I want to search, how often does Principal Barkin? Oh, he appears rather frequently. And I can see that, yeah, so I'm doing some research on a certain person or a place. I can find out how often it appears in the book itself. And then the other element is the, let me just go on to here. Let's go on to, well, what is principle? Let's just get that word. I want to define it. And there's the princess, an adjective, it's a noun. And then you've got synonyms and topics. I mean, it really does open things up for you, so you come away expanding your knowledge of the English language, using words, and your comprehension, of course, is being helped enormously. So all those elements are really important. And then we go on to, let me just go down here. We'll close this title now. I could have made notes and highlights, but I think I've covered that really. And then I'm going to go on to me. It's all about me. So it's me, and I want to change my profile. It's winter, and well, of course it isn't at the moment, but say it is, and actually, no, that's not winter. That's a space person, I think. No, let's look at flower. I think I feel more like a flower today, so I can go down here and I can apply my preference, and there I've got my flower and my name's there. Now you can see all the reading stats that I've been going and looking, and because I demonstrate, I've got very strange figures here, but that's it would for your average student, that would be really helpful. Then you've got all your different achievements. You get all these different achievements, and for your healthily competitive classmates, that's quite good, because they will want those badges as well. And you get them through reading more books and your reading time. So that's what that's about. I think that's what I wanted to show you.
Wow, Kirston, I feel like running off and registering and going to read a book right now. I want one of those stars. So just if a school were interested, what would step one be?
Well, step one would be to contact us, contact me, contact Booktalk, and then we start following up, and we always recommend a virtual meeting so that we can demonstrate the service. Yes. And go into it in a bit more detail, and then we've covered the, well, I don't think I did cover the points, but the thing with the reading is it encourages reading, it expands the knowledge of English, your comprehension is going to start sort of kicking in pretty well, and at the same time with the notes that you can make in answer to the teacher's questions or notes that you want to make, you wouldn't just take a copy out of the book, you would actually be in your own words. So your own expressive speech, or not speech, language is coming to the fore when you're writing down those notes. Yes. So we would recommend contact us, we reach out, we want to do a demo. Virtual is so incredibly convenient today, both for the school and means we can spend more time with the school on the virtual meeting and show how it works, answer questions. And we often get asked to give another demo, and we do. And there's more to show you. I mean, what I've shown you in that is
the tip of the iceberg.
It's the tip of the iceberg, yes.
So these reports, would they be available to the teacher? Let's say a language teacher runs a reading program and they want to look at the reports of the learners and how they've fared. Would they be available or downloadable?
There is a very there is an admin site for the school, which the students would not be reaching out to. And in that admin site, amongst other things, there would be the reporting facility to see what is going on, which books are working well, and seeing the results of your efforts. And
Yeah.
the reports are, I mean, OverDrive have really focused on, they must all, they actually employ lots of teachers and librarians, but the systems they've come up with are so thorough
Yes.
on what schools want to know. And the other important thing is that there is a team of, for South African schools in sitting in America, waiting to answer questions,
Yeah.
hearing comments, and all that input from the different schools, and that's the South African group, but there'll be other groups for the different countries. All those comments and suggestions and recommendations are absorbed by OverDrive, and if they have got merit and it will work with the system, then they will include it. I know I suggested something to them once. I can't remember what it was now, but I suggested something to them once, and 2 weeks later I saw, oh,
Ah,
they do that. I wonder
yeah.
if that was me.
Yeah.
But they might have found that lots and lots of people were saying the same thing. But
Yeah.
that's what's important. They listen through
Yeah.
the communication system as to what their school customers want. And
Yes.
there, where they can, they will include it.
Yeah. So just something I've been thinking about. Yes, reading, and we want them to start at a young age. But if we're in matric and we have a set workbook, how would you suggest the school can use SORA to assist them in their set work, for example?
Well, first of all, they would have a facility in their admin site to go and have a look for the title. And OverDrive have a huge online catalog. And so the school would look for that title on the catalog. It's a big catalog, but there are lots of filters where you can drill down to get to the sort of area that you're looking for.
Mm.
And then if they can get the title, great, but they might want it for the class, for the matriculation year or grade 11. Not quite sure when they start working with that matriculation title, probably the year before. Then they would be able to approach OverDrive and say, is this available as a class set? What would the cost be? We want it for X number of students, and we would want it for 2 months, 3 months to study. And then what would the price be per student? And then they would have a look at the pricing, and then they would make their mind up as to whether that would be the route they want to go.
Yeah. And if we speak of pricing, in most or in all cases, the parents must go out and purchase this book. Sometimes they're not available, but if the school could even facilitate that process and save a lot of headaches and make sure everybody has access to that book. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would,
I'm going to
all the
encourage,
students to whom it was relevant, yes.
yes. So I'm going to encourage our viewers to make contact. We'll make Kirston's phone number and email address available as we send this out. So please be sure to go and log in, have a look, consider this, and give Kirston a call to find more information. So I'd like to thank you for your time. It was great speaking to you. A very interesting visit to your app, and we're praying success over your initiative.